Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen. Today we have a reading for you about somebody who it's like they're stopped in their tracks or they hit a brick wall. They might have been moving pretty quickly in a romantic relationship or feeling like they were getting everything they wanted in a career or based on like their goals. This could be somebody who was clout chasing and felt like they'd been able to work their way into a network of people that they'd always wanted to be in. But now we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So I feel like we have like a door slamming in someone's face. You may have been close to what you wanted, but you did something a little bit uncouth. It's not accepted. No, thank you. So now this person's like kicked out. Star in the reverse, Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So I do feel like for the majority of you, this is going to be somebody who's trying to gain access because of a desire for a career or at least big money, maybe even like dating somebody who is extremely popular. But this is like, we thought we could trust you to be reasonable, and then you were not. You kept focused on what it is that you want. And now this person's basically like kicked out or not allowed to be around. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Stephen. Hello, April. How we doing? Hello, Nat Nat. How's it going? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's also in the description box for you because sometimes I say it too fast. As is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I did post some new readings for members yesterday if you're in the stars and towers. And I think the day before that for everyone. So yeah. Oh wait, no, it was for everyone yesterday. All right. Anyways, more content. Yay. This is the Cook's Tarot. Let's see what else we've got for you. What else about this person who feels like they are trapped? Oh, okay. We've got the Hermit. Someone feels like they're all on the lonesome. They don't have invitations to the parties. And the Eight of Swords. Okay. So what's interesting here is we have this person who's got like a tray of hors d'oeuvres. Now it is the Cook's Tarot, so there's going to be food themes, but it kind of feels to me like this is someone who was hired as like a bartender or a chef, or I don't know, maybe you're teaching me how to do yoga. But there's someone who was around others, and it's giving kind of like a, oh gosh, what was that movie? Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where what's his face is trying to impress the other what's his face with the tape of his music. And it would really be nice if I could remember one of their names. It's just not there. Anyways, this is like, you're here to do a job. You're supposed to be focused. You're supposed to be the host at a restaurant, right? And instead you're trying to convince the celebrity who's trying to enjoy their own space that they need to listen to your music, right? Or that they need to let you dance in their next like music video, you know? A very, very I Love Lucy, let me be in your show moment. Hello, Mavis, how you doing? Hello, Matt. That's awesome. Welcome home's pretty funny. Hello, Santiago, how are you doing? So this is someone who felt like they had an opportunity to, you know, take a flying leap towards celebrity status or towards a celebrity, perhaps, even though they were supposed to be working, catering, bartending, whatever they are doing. They got distracted by their own goals or what they wanted to get out of being that close. Yes, Russell Brand was one of them. I said Russell Bland. He is a little bit though, right? Yeah, this is someone who should have been focused on what they were supposed to be doing there, whatever kind of work it is. And instead it's, I would really like to be doing that kind of work. And I feel like because I am, you know, 5 feet away from you, you should consider me special. Was that his name? Oh, he was pretty intolerable then in that movie. I mean, probably still. Five of Swords. Uh-oh. So we've got someone who's so determined to get what they want that they end up ruining something that they're supposed to be content with right now. In other words, if you are working on building something that requires time and dedication, you can't just like achieve it overnight in most cases, right? Then you have to be able to generally make a career elsewhere or find a way to put food on the table while you are waiting for that other thing or working towards that other thing to work out. This is someone who is risking the job that they do have because of the job that they want or because of wanting to date somebody that is probably like high status, right? Thank you for sharing, Bob. I just ask that you remember to be tolerant and respectful of others' beliefs in the live chat, okay? Hello, Tamby. How are you doing? So this is somebody who ruins something that they need right now for something they desperately want for tomorrow. King of Swords and the Two of Swords in the reverse. So this is the person they're trying to access or trying to like befriend. Hey, let's hang out. I'm pretty sure you love my mixtape, that kind of thing, right? Well, I guess it wouldn't be a mixtape, just like demo, right? That's what we call it. And this person I think is relatively amenable or kind, considerate, but also has people making decisions for them. So, like I said, a little bit of high status, right? There's an assistant or there's a security guard or there's whatever, a manager. That's people about, Oh, I don't have a problem with you, James. I hope you're doing wonderful. But you got to do whatever you got to do. You're always welcome here. Hello, Zats. Hello, Sean. How you doing? Yes. Although I think he spells it differently. I think it's Segel. But yeah, it's pretty good. That's awfully generous of you, King. Hello, Leland. Oh, Leland's mom, that's right. Oh, I think at one point you told me your name or put it in the live chat. But anyways, welcome back. Hello, James. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse and the Six of Swords. So kind of like an I Love Lucy episode where she's always reaching for her chance at fame because Ricky, her husband, has it, right? And because she always felt like she should be. And there's often a main character who is forgiving of her nature and allows her in the show or, just kind of puts up with her shenanigans. I'm thinking of, who's the author dude? No, not him. Crap. Maybe he wasn't an author. He was in the one where Lucy's going to Florida and she's got like the flippers and everything on. Why can't I think of his name? He's known for reading Shakespeare extremely well. This is driving me crazy. I can't recall names today. I better work on that. Anyways, there is something here where you could get fired for this. Why are you trying to talk to somebody about dating them or working for them when you're literally at your job right now? And this King of Swords, I feel, is kind of like, give him just a minute. Go ahead. What's your pitch? Let's hear it. You have an elevator pitch, right? Like fast? I got an appetizer coming. But what is it? Tell me. We'll see if I like it. I feel like there's just this like, okay, I dare you. Let's see if you actually got something good. I don't think it'll be good, but if it is good, I'll recognize good. And I feel like this person who, feels like this is their shining moment may take this as, I won't get in trouble by anybody else. But I don't think that's how it works. I think they do get this opportunity to flirt or to, sing or here's my dance skills or whatever it is. And maybe there's a little bit of conversation, but I think it does put a stop to their existing job. If they're catering, if they're bartending, whatever it is that brought them to that point, someone's frustrated with them. Like, you're not focusing on the job that I'm paying you to do. Hey, JP, how are you doing? I do too, admiring penguin. How you doing? Oh, Lord. Probably not, Matt, but that's hilarious. Hello, WK. How are you doing? Thank you. How's it going back? Hey, you know what? I appreciate that you really bury the insult in there. And I don't know that you should be really using snap judgments of people's mental health as a way to interact on there. So I'm going to remove that and ask you, I'm not going to block you, but I'm going to ask you to be polite and considerate of, you know, what it means when you're trying to use insults like that, you know? Hello, Hope. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. So this is the Pulp Tarot, by the way. Knight of Swords, Three of Cups. This is an event, right? Maybe there is catering. Maybe there is a private bartender. Maybe there's even like photographers or a fashion show. This is a big deal. People feel like they have to dress up for it. And with Justice in the reverse, we have somebody who feels like there's this temptation, like, well, I'm just this close to that person that I have a big crush on, or to that person that could hire me for my dream job. So, like, how am I supposed to not say something? At least try, right? Hey, thanks. Oh, please do, James. Is it not letting you? Hello, Tucci. How are you doing? I generally leave gender out of the equation because it can be different for you or, you know, the next person watching that this resonates for. However, I will say if I had to say it leans one way more than the other, I would say it seems to be a little bit more feminine. Because it does seem like we have somebody who's trying to use their good looks, which happens on other sides of the equation, right? Like, it's not just women who do this. But I do think that this is someone who's trying to get attention, even if it's not, I don't want to like date you, right? I just want to work for you, but I'm still going to try to be like physically attractive so that you give me maybe a better chance, right? Hey, Tucci. Don't tell me what to say on my channel, okay? Hello, Cynthia. Yes, it's a good approach, right? I mean, you got to have the ability to be considerate, you know, a good friend, things like that. But we all have to be in charge of our own direction and take those actions that we need to. This is someone who's like, okay, I'm going to take my chance. I know I might get in trouble or I might even get fired, but I'm going to, you know, do my song or play my guitar or whatever. And maybe, just maybe, I'll get to be like famous because of this interaction. There's that King of Swords again. So this is the person they're trying to impress. Like I say, I think they like wave this person through, like, okay, let's see if you can impress me. Most people won't. A little bit like Simon Cowell vibes, right? Like, what you got? And then without really trying too terribly difficult, this person seems to just kind of surprise the King of Swords. Actually does pretty well, right? I have this skill. I think you should know it. And here it is. Even if I'm standing in the middle of like someone's wedding reception, you know? Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing? Hello, Caleb. I'm doing well. How are you doing? No, I wouldn't believe you're boring. Hello, Patrick. How are you doing? So we have the Fool and the Page of Swords in the reverse. Taking this, you know, opportunity, or not really opportunity, like making an opportunity for themselves, Getting the King of Swords to, for whatever reason, agree, okay, let's hear what your tape sounds like, your demo, whatever. And then this person's like, sweet, I think I'm gonna get like signed. I think I'm gonna get like my first book deal, whatever it is. They're like, I got this. All right, why does this feel like there's gonna be a difficult like drop off here? Do they actually get this opportunity? Yeah, exactly. Hello, Marty. How are you doing? What else? We have the Six of Swords again. So the Six of Swords was after the King of Swords and also clarifies the King of Swords. So this is someone who's kind of like extending their power to provide shelter to this person who is a little bit of a clout chaser or trying to get their moment to shine, be recognized. Maybe this is taking place in LA. What else do we have? The Devil in the reverse. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Death and the Three of Cups in the reverse. So I feel like there is initially a good response to this. I feel like this King of Swords is like, okay, you did pretty well. Like, nice job. You know, you didn't even have like a sound booth or whatever. Hello, Maharguna. How are you doing? Thank you for joining the memberships. I hope I said your name right. This is someone who I think feels like there was no harm, no foul, because the King of Swords was like, that's pretty good, well done. I like what you got. But then they turn around and I feel like they hear, but you've been fired because you were supposed to be taking care of those tables or you were supposed to be bartending. And there's this huge line or all these people are upset because they didn't get their food. And this person's like, that's all right. I got what I needed. That King of Swords likes my act or thinks that, you know, I would be a great model or wants to, you know, make my sour candies a reality. I don't know, whatever they do. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do this now because I met that King of Swords. Everything went well, so go ahead, fire me. But I don't think this is someone who's taking into consideration how long it might take for this to actually work. Like, they still need to have that job, right? Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Hello, Tom. How you doing? This is, you know, too quick to try to pivot over to this other life without acknowledging that, like, you still need to probably have that other job until things are fully transitioned or until you know for sure, you know, I have this set up or this is when I'm gonna get paid. This person's just like, okay, I'm done. Everything, it's time for my new life. I talked to the King of Swords and we're good. You know? Hello, Cara. How are you doing? So Maharguna, if you donate the memberships, I do questions, or if you do a super chat. So joining the membership, you'll get access to, let's see, did you go for the chariots? No, to the stars. So you'll get access to some members' live streams that I've done and going forward. And then there's the additional videos that are like maybe 15 minutes long. And then the shorts that I post for members only. Thank you. What else do we have? So this is a person who feels like maybe they're going to be able to just like overnight become a success and become like rich. Like, okay, this person said that it's good, so now I'm going to be like everywhere, right? I'm going to be like famous. I don't know. This doesn't feel like it's going to move forward as quickly as they think. That they may end up causing themselves some unnecessary financial hardship because they feel like they've just, you know, won the lottery, but it's not really like that. It's something that takes a little bit more time. You know, it's the difference between getting a pizza that's already been baked versus like the half-baked pizza where you take it home and then you can decide when you're ready to eat that pizza, right? This is somebody who was like expecting it to be, you know, just, okay, where's my $10,000, $20,000, however much you guys pay for me being awesome? Like, no, there's more of a wait for that. So I think they're going to run into maybe a little bit of an awkward conversation here where they have to ask for their job back, or they have to find something similar to patch the like gap until they figure out what this looks like and how things are going to change for them. Hello, Archie. Hello, Barbara. Hello, E. How you doing? Thank you for the party hat. So we've got the Hermit, the Nine of Cups in the reverse, Queen of Cups in the reverse, and the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so I feel like I've been chosen. I feel like I'm going to get what I want, but then I realize I have to fill a whole bunch of paperwork out, or I have to go in for, you know, I don't know, an audition, or there's, you know, 80 other people that the King of Swords said yes to, and I have to compete against them. This is like, oh, I guess this is not as straightforward as I was expecting. Like, I thought I was just gonna like have lots of money like next week or tomorrow. No, 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 no. You have to now prove that that opportunity that you got was enough. So we have somebody who's getting a little bit of kind of like gut punching news where it's like, okay, so you mean you're not gonna pay my bills for me next month? Uh-oh. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? Hello, online. Hello, Flower. How's it going? Hello, Javier. So we've got the Ace of Swords. This is a reference to truth and honesty, right? Somebody who is being a little bit more acquainted with the reality of the situation instead of being caught up in the, oh my gosh, I'm going to be rich like tomorrow, right? Okay, Morgana, you join the towers. I will do a question for you. That's the highest level. I might as well. It's just, it's too sweet. If you have a specific question, let me know. And then the other thing about the towers is I do like a brief personal reading for you. If you have it month after month, I do it every month. But I do need to have your email address. So if you don't mind emailing me after this, then I can do that personal reading there. And then if you have a question on the live stream, I would do that for you as well. When you join the towers, it's as long as I get your email address, usually about 24 hours before I get you that personal reading for you. If only that was that easy, right, Mavis? So this truth is hitting this individual like, whoops, I maybe need to go back and get that job. I might need to like rethink my strategy here because it's not going to be just as like quick as I was hoping to switch over to this dream career or, you know, suddenly be able to pay my bills on something that I wasn't previously, you know? Love life in 26. Sounds good. And if this is your first time here, I start those at about 30 or 35 minutes, which is in about 5 to 10 minutes from now after the general reading is done, but you are the first one on the list, so it shouldn't be too long. Oh, that's funny. So we have the Emperor and the Six of Swords in the reverse. We keep seeing the Six of Swords, but it's been in the upright. That's interesting. So now this is someone who feels like even though I got like that pass, or even though that King of Swords was like, yeah, come on in, let's see what you've got, go ahead, sing. Even though they felt like they got these green lights, you know, access to where they needed to be. Now all of a sudden they're feeling trapped or like they hit a brick wall because financially they were not prepared for how long this was actually going to take, or the reality maybe of what it actually pays. Have you ever had like, well, I don't know, I guess they've had like interviews or articles about TV stars or even some film stars. I think even the group TLC talked about how, you know, they were popular. They were on like all the radio stations, or, you know, maybe someone's on like the top TV show or whatever. But sometimes people's contracts are so disadvantageous that they're not actually getting paid anything or very much at all. So it's like, I might be a big deal. I might be what I thought I wanted to be, but if I'm not getting the pay to back that up, then I can't really call this like the job that I need, right? So Ten of Pentacles is in the reverse because it's like, yeah, maybe I could get like access to the right people. Maybe I could even be positioned to be like the next big thing, but I don't have any money. So like, who's gonna like pay for stuff? We have the Three of Swords in the reverse. So this is someone saying, I need to see if there's any chance I can go back or get like a short-term job because I can't be sitting here with no money. They're freaking out. And I chuckle only because, you know, sometimes we get a little bit too excited and we're like, oh my gosh, everything is going to just be like smooth sailing from here on out, you know, when there is more work required. So Three of Wands in the reverse, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. The message, if you resonate with this talented individual, is make sure that you continue to remain dedicated to what you do. I'm seeing the chick from Footloose. She worked during the day and then she was still committed to dancing and wanted to like, you know, get accepted into that prestigious program. This is like, sometimes it requires you to work maybe a little bit longer hours, or maybe it's something that you know, no one's going to call you out on if you don't do it. Kind of like going to the gym, right? I guess for some people they do get yelled at, but this is like, you have to be your own manager. You have to have that motivation on your own. And I feel like if this individual does that, they're able to make the most out of this opportunity. But if they just kind of feel like, I got what I wanted, I don't have to do anything else, they think I'm amazing, they're going to choose me, of course they're going to choose me, I'm the best, then they might not get chosen after all because they're not taking it as seriously as they should. This is the Situations deck. Hello, Mike. How's it going? Hello, Marit. What's up? It's snowy there? I smile because I know it's pretty, but I don't miss the snow. I grew up in Minnesota, which is pretty similar weather-wise, I think. So we have Grip, Divine Masculine, and On the Table. Yeah, this is someone who's like, okay, so since the difficult part is just like getting access to this person who could potentially elevate my career or start my career for me, then if I get like the nod or if I get an approval from them, then everything is fine. You could even compare it to the people who were like, you know, America's Next Top Model or any of those shows, really. Where did they go from there? Were they able to make a sustainable career of it? One thing that I could answer to that is I do know that Jabberwocky's got a show or like a residence in Las Vegas. So that's like a success story, right? They found a way to leverage what they had on a TV show into like a legitimate job, and I saw them and they were amazing. I think they do maybe like swap out the people in their group, so maybe that's part of it too. But this is something that's saying basically like you got to be prepared for it to be maybe a little bit more work than you're expecting, or don't expect it to be smooth sailing just because you got admittance, you know? Hello, Keith. How's it going? Hello, Melissa. Hello, HM. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Is it Mehwish? I hope I'm saying that right. So we've got emotions coming and going, somebody racing, running, avoiding. Uh-oh, I feel like I might get in trouble with my bills unless I hurry up and find like at least a part-time job, right? or maybe I need to move somewhere else or find a roommate so that things are a little bit more affordable. I'm not like dealing with the same kind of salary as I was before, or I'm not making the money that I was before. But if they put the right amount of effort into this, and if they invest in this dream, I do think that there's a good chance this star goes where they want to go, achieves what they want to achieve. It's the, are you going to recognize getting access and having somebody tell you that you're good, as that's all you need? You don't have to put in any more work, or you're going to use that as motivation to continue to work on whatever the skill set is. All right, and let's see, we're going to go with the signs of the times. I like the sound of treasures. It makes me think of Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I think that's the right one from the Chronicles of Narnia. We've got rainbow, hope. So yes, this is a very good sign that you're on the right track, that things could potentially go very well for you. But we also have to back up that determination, that opportunity, with dedication or continued work towards that. And I do feel like we have, for the majority of you, we've got somebody who's like, you know what, I really got to make sure that I just do my absolute best for this. I would hate to not have my chance go the way I'd want because I was taking things for granted. This could mean that somebody, especially if this is like a dancing thing, or, you know, like drumming, maybe your hands hurt, I don't know. There's an important, like, taking a step back from this thing to make sure that you heal, or that you don't push yourself too far. If you're training for a marathon, you know, like, how far is too far? My friend was telling me, like, her toenail would fall out because of marathon training. I would cry. I would definitely cry. So, you know, sometimes you gotta, like, take a step back and just make sure that whatever's going on, you know, you're getting enough sleep, you're eating well, you're drinking enough water, all that. Hello, Makla, how are you doing? Don't spend too much time on regret. We've got lessons that we learn from things that don't go the way we want. We've got the moon and emotions, which is number 23. This is kind of a connecting with, where is that one? This one. These emotions that somebody feels. I feel there's this ability to leverage that energy and put it into that project, whether it is dancing, right? I think in Footloose it was like she's going through a rough time or whatever, but dancing helps her take her mind off of it. Or, you know, any of those like kind of inspirational movies where it's like, I've got struggles with the family or with my relationship, but at least I have this thing that I'm passionate about, you know? So I think this is important for this individual, and therefore they're going to, for the majority of you, make the right decision. I've got to give this everything I've got so that I can get to that next level or achieve the goal that I really want to achieve. All right, let's move to personal questions. Ooh, this is the Egyptian Tarot. And I really hope I am saying your name right, Mahaguna. What will love life be like in 2026? What do we have for Mahaguna, please? Six of Pentacles in the reverse, King of Swords in the reverse, King of Pentacles in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So I see two main individuals here, the King of Swords in the reverse, the King of Pentacles in the reverse. And I do feel like this King of Swords in the reverse is someone who struggles to give freely of their time or their energy. This King of Swords is somebody that is, they're able to make plans. They know what's important, but I do feel like they kind of prefer to be on their own, or it's like I keep people at a distance from me. So this King of Swords could be an avoidant. This could be somebody who is not comfortable with emotions. The only emotional cup out here is the Two of Cups, and it's in the reverse. So I feel like either I'm not over a breakup, still thinking about someone from the past, or I'm just like too protective of my heart to let anybody actually know me, right? This King of Pentacles in the reverse, this is a change of pace. Someone who causes some upset. This would be like the community has always done something one way and this person comes in and does it a different way. I don't know if this movie reference will land for most of you, but the thing I saw in my mind was Anne Margaret in Grumpy Old Men. No, Grumpier Old Men. And she's like causing a ruckus in the neighborhood because everybody's asleep and she's out here like doing snow angels in the snow, like, ee! And everybody's like, what is that lady doing? She's living her life. She does things her own way. This is somebody who they move into a community or they're very dissimilar to others, but it's just kind of like, whatever, this is how I live my life. This is what I like. This is someone who may be a little bit prone to giving into temptation because I do think they're a very spontaneous person, but I feel like they're going to cause an upset, maybe a good upset in your love life because they're very different from this King of Swords in the reverse. So be cautious because you want to make sure that you're dealing with somebody who is invested and looking for the long term. There may be a right person in 2026 for you, but with a little bit of a delay. Like I've met you or I know you, but you need to work on a few things and then we can like kind of regroup kind of thing. So we've got the King of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like we've got a little bit of immaturity that needs to be worked through in both cases. With the King of Swords in the reverse, this is somebody who needs to be more comfortable with their emotions. And with the King of Pentacles or King of Wands in the reverse, we have somebody who is maybe not quite done sowing wild oats. Oh, I'm so glad, Hope. I did just watch it too. I'm so glad you do, Hope. Hassan and Mehwish, the connection. Does it have any future? And thank you for joining the membership, Marguna. Is there any future? Ooh. Yes, but there is some fear in the way. Somebody who is not entirely comfortable being 100% themselves. So we have the Devil and the Sun. This is about whether or not somebody is going to actually be comfortable showing you who they are without feeling the need to edit or, you know, add a filter. If you feel someone's being honest with you and not trying to wear a mask, then things are moving to a better chapter or a different level. But there has been some concern with how another person views this connection. So there could be some element here of our love is forbidden, or people don't want us to be together, or someone thinks I should be with someone else. But we have Five of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the reverse. I haven't come back around because I don't know if I would upset you. Seems to be a repeating thought here. And with Death, there's a choice. Do I want to end this connection or be done with this connection? Or is it worth going through some changes for somebody that I view as a possible soulmate? With the Lovers, I do think this is a pretty major decision for someone, whether or not to take a chance on a relationship. So that's going to be the deciding factor, whether or not there's a future. And that's probably their decision, but you might have your own decision to deal with as well. We have the Three of Wands in the reverse, Two of Wands in the reverse. Right now, there's this, like, I don't know if I can handle all of that, or I don't know if I would do things the right way. What if I did all of this and then you still didn't want me? To that person, I would say it is always worth it to work on yourself. It is always worth it to address the things that hold you back, whether it helps you to be with someone or get a job or move somewhere else or not. It would just mean that there's something else out there for you. So always work on yourself. Always feel good about that. Hello, James. Thank you for the tip. Let me get that for you. Which tarot deck should we use? We're going to go with the Morgan Greer. I don't think I used that yet. Okay. How is February for me? How is February going to go for James, please? King of Cups in the reverse, Queen of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups in the reverse. There's someone in your family or, you know, someone who would be like family, if it's a close friend, you know, family friend. But there's someone here who's like in that category, going back to some old habits, being a bit, maybe even to themselves, or not wanting to be considerate. And I feel like this person has some resentment towards you, or just kind of indifference, because there's something that this person feels is unfair for you. So you might be having a conversation with this person in February. I feel like they're going to lose their temper. Knight of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. Do not let this person take up too much of your time. I feel like February is going to be good for you in terms of money. And this person could like make you late for work or impact your mood. There's this protective barrier that I see you implementing. It's like, nope, you can't get through to me because I am making money. I don't have time for your foul energy. So I do feel like you're keeping someone at a distance, or maybe even going no contact with someone, because you feel like this is something you need to focus on, and you know you're making good money, you know? So I feel like this is you knowing how to protect yourself against someone. And with the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles, there's improvement in your finances because of your willingness to have those boundaries. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I hope you have a good day, HM. And James, you got this. You're coming through as the magician. That's pretty badass. Am I allowed to say that? Will YouTube get mad at me? They might get mad at me. Man, if this was just like a private reading, I would talk so differently for y'all. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping the video if you're able to, and I will see you on the next reading.